Can you share a little bit about yourself and the type of shoulder pain you were experiencing before working with us?
Yeah, obviously having played, professional cricket for a long time, and then, playing golf, being a sportsman, the pain that I had is I went through like numerous of challenges going to specialists and seeking advice. I was told by 3 specialists that I had to have a shoulder replacement, which thank God, the last one told me that's not needed. Rather seek alternatives. So the pain that I've had was so bad that I couldn't lift my shoulder. I literally, I would, if I'd stretched out to reach a cup on the shelf, I wouldn't be able to do that because it felt like my shoulder was popping out of socket.
Yeah.
Playing golf, which is the thing that I love doing, I would play, and then sometimes as soon as I hit the ball, it would feel like my shoulder popped out of socket, and I would need to like hang on something or try to get it back into socket. So that was the pain, and then obviously at night sleeping was almost impossible. Just to try and sleep at night was so difficult because I couldn't like rest in or lie in one location. Then my left shoulder hurts, and then I turn on the other side, and then my right shoulder hurts. So I was awake most of the time, sleeping 2 to 3 hours at a time. Um, but since I started working, with you on the shoulder and getting that mobility back and getting some of that strength back, and it's funny because it was some of the exercises are exercises that I knew I needed to do, but some of the tweaks that you threw in kind of like threw me a little bit as well because it sort of kind of targeted areas that I never felt, were even possible. So with that, like I said, my strength I think has improved tremendously. The rotation in my shoulders have increased, and that's all the good things that obviously from a person that loves being outdoors and loves playing sport, that's what I want, and then obviously the benefit of sleeping. That's
Yeah.
the
Sleeping.
that's the major
Oh,
thing.
man. I remember the first time we kind of talked, we're like, we got to figure out this sleep thing because it's definitely remind me how long were you dealing with the shoulder pain for?
Since 2015, so almost 10 years, yeah. So yeah, been a long time, yes.
Yeah. What made you decide to work with us as a virtual shoulder specialist?
Well, I kind of seeked out, I sort of did a bit of like investigation on my own, like looking at various platforms, looking at, I had apps, I had folks that was recommended to me as well. And funny enough, it's probably AI. While I was looking for shoulders, your thing popped up on Instagram, and I started like researching a bit, on what you do and how you do things and what makes you slightly different. And I kind of like what I saw, so I just thought, well, let me take a stab at it and send you an email and see what happens. And the rest is history, as I say.
The rest is history, as they say. Cause yeah, remind me of some of the other things that you tried. Cause you went to physical therapy. Like how was your experiencing with physical therapy compared to what we did?
Yeah, so went to physical therapy when we were still based in Texas. They gave me a lot of like shoulder rotation type of exercises with bands,
Yeah.
just the normal stuff, rotator cuff type of exercises, the hand move clock type of
Fun.
exercise.
Yeah.
And then they did deep shoulder massaging, which again, I'm not dissing that. I mean, it felt great at the time, but it wasn't a long term solution. And
Mm.
I think that for me is the key, right? What is something that you can do that's in the long term going to benefit you, not just give you a short term fix.
Yeah.
And I felt that the exercises they gave me is great, but it still did not address some of the issues that I felt I had in my shoulder. So you get to a point where you just get a little bit, it's enough, and you want to move on.
Absolutely. Now, for our evaluation, we went through a lot of stuff. What were some like light bulb moments that we like maybe found with you that like other people weren't looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing that comes to mind is when you had me do that stretch, um, man, just the normal
Uh, Median nerve tension test.
medium nerve test, and I couldn't actually get my arms straight enough, and I felt pain all over. and then you had me do a few little small little tweaks and stretches, and you said to me, "Try it again." And I did that. I was like, "Wow, what just happened?" It was like really amazing how something small like that just changed, just that flexibility and mobility in a question of a few stretches, basically.
Absolutely. So many people, like, when they're having sleep trouble, that median nerve is often the excuse me, is often the culprit with it. So, like, we saw that, and I saw that in the intake. We knew that we really wanted to look at that.
Yeah.
Like, how do you like, what do you think about the way that we structured your program? Was there anything unique or different that stood out to you?
Well, what I loved about it was that, the app keeps you accountable, right? I think that's the main thing. I think the other thing is that the exercises that I was given was simplistic enough in the sense that I could do it because I travel quite a bit. I could do it anywhere. So whether I'm at home or traveling, to a different state, I could do that in the comfort of my hotel room. So there's no excuses, right? And I think the other neat thing is that every week there was a slight tweak or adaptation to the program itself. So you felt like you're not just staying in a plateau, you're challenging yourself, and then there's something a little bit more challenge coming on the next week, and then maybe the next week, the it just goes down a little bit, and then it goes up a little bit. So it gives you, for me, it's nice because I didn't know what to expect. Right, it's like going into a gym and having a personal trainer, and the personal trainer says, "Well, today we're doing this," and tomorrow you get there and says, "No, no, no, this is what we're going to be, for today." So I think that for me is the nice thing about it.
Absolutely. And the thing is, like, every person responds so differently. So we start broad, throw some WD-40 at like WD-40 on those areas, and then we really narrow in, like, on how your body's responding with this stuff. How'd you feel about how'd you feel about the support and communication throughout?
I mean, that was great. Like I said, I mean, every single week, I heard back from you, asking question, how was the week? Is there something that you feel is maybe still bothering you? Is it the back of your shoulder, top of your shoulder? So for me, that was nice because that constant ability to be able to communicate with you, even indirectly on a tech side, was brilliant. Absolutely loved it.
What are, like, your key takeaways that you're gonna take with you for, like, the long term as far as, like, your shoulder health from everything we've gone over the last, like, couple months?
I think just figuring out consistency and how I think the one thing about shoulders is what I've realized in these 3 months is that it's a continuous thing. You can't just it's not a quick fix where you do something for a week and then it's done and it's solved and you're back to normal. For me, the thing that I've taken away is that there's so many different things that you can do to get your shoulders back to where it should be in terms of strength, whether that's rotating or having different exercises or stretches, is just making sure that you're consistently doing that on a day-to-day basis instead of just doing it once a month and thinking it's going to solve the issue. So, yeah, that's my main takeaway.
Absolutely. And, like, what would you say to someone who's hesitant about starting a virtual shoulder rehab program like this?
You've got nothing to lose, man. I mean, and from my perspective, as I said, I've been to specialists, I've been to physiotherapist. I've been everywhere, and this is the first thing that's actually worked. And I'm not just saying it. It's the proof is in the pudding, as they say. From my perspective, it's been great. As I said, for the first time, I can sleep without pain, and I don't have any issues in terms of doing certain things.